What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode 56, I think. I forgot to change it when I uploaded this. I'm pretty sure it's 56. Maybe it's 55. I don't know.
We're at 50-something.
We'll fix it after the fact. But thanks, everyone, for joining for Slingers tonight. We have a special guest, which is going to be on shortly, Steve from Brick Freedom. As you know, we are sponsored by Brick Freedom for all your Bricklink and Brick Owl syncing needs. Hope everyone's having a good night. We're also going to talk about how I got scammed out of $1,100 this week. So that'll be after Steve's done, because where Steve's at, it's the middle of the night. So we're going to get him in, ask some questions, and then get him out so he can go to bed because he got to work.
Did you buy a truckload of bricks and they all came in as like some kind of aftermarket junk bricks?
We'll see. Who we got with us tonight? We got Brick Quest. Welcome, the first one to post. Watch Yourself is here. I think they're new. 50 caliber bricks is here. These are overrated. The Collector, Keith V, Kept 89. Sean's here. Chicks with Bricks, Jared, JT Bricks, Leaf Hunter. Oh yeah, we can talk about my wife's car accident too. A lot happened this week. Big Ass Bricks is here. Nice. Not sure if I said Leaf Hunter, Jared, JT Bricks. Watch Yourself is now Tricker, or was Tricker Brick. All right. Endorphin Seekers here. Lexington Bricks is here. Daddy-O's Bricks is here. Awesome. Thank you all for joining. We have 20. I'm sure we lost some over the... Oh, we're up to 25 all of a sudden. Wow. We got people joining. Brick Outside the Box is here. Alex is here.
What's on?
See if we can hit that 30 mark. Make sure you hit that like button. I know people don't like to hit the like button. They like to hit the unlike button.
It doesn't work on the algorithm thing.
Yeah, Brick Bins is here. I also got a couple more tips for the end of the show about Pirate Ship. Their new shipping program is live again. Apparently they had issues, but they got them fixed. And there's something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh, yeah, this is my Lego haul for the week. I got all these minifigs for $25.
Mint.
From the same guy I got all the ones last time from. The last ones ended up parting out after I uploaded everything was about $150, and I have a bunch of accessories too. So those will be up probably tomorrow or the next day because I got my new pro version of the sorting table. I just have to put it together tomorrow. I'll make a video about it. And then I got to reorganize the office. And if you remind me, I'll tell you how you can get those Sterilite 3-drawer bins, the bigger ones. I found them as cheap as $11.99 now. So with free shipping. I almost bought them. I was like this close. But I didn't. I think I figured out a different way to reorganize my office. So, but yeah.
No more French fry?
Huh?
No more French fry trays?
I still got them. I think I'm going to keep using the ones I have.
Okay.
I think I measured and I figured out how I could put them on one side and under my desk part way. And then I don't have to buy the bigger ones. I think they will incorporate with the new sorting table much more effective.
Free shipping to Alaska. I don't think anybody ships to Alaska free, do they?
Leaf Hunter, if you order over $100, I ship to Alaska for free.
There you go. All you gotta do is buy 10.
Yep. Knees are overrated. Is like, I just bought a load from Hobby Lobby after last week's tip. Well, they were $12.99 at Hobby Lobby, so I mean it's not that much you would have saved. But
the free shipping's nice though.
Yeah, Amazon does.
Especially on something that big.
Yeah, for sure. So all right, if you guys remind me towards the end, I'll show you where to get those for $11.99. But all right, let's welcome Steve from Brick Freedom here. We got 32 people. I know you all want to talk to him.
What's up, Steve?
Hey everyone, how's it going?
The savior, the one saving around. Oh, thank you.
Not at the moment.
So what's new with Brick Freedom these days?
Sadly, not much, I'm afraid.
No?
No, to give you a bit of background, basically in December, start of December, the company I work for was acquired by an American company. And in turn, that meant that basically I changed my hours a bit to accompany American hours. So obviously your 5 hours. So yeah, I moved my hours forward, not 5 hours, not that bad, but yeah, it hits into my evenings, and yeah, so
Now you're working
that
graveyard shift.
yes, basically, yeah. Now that is not gonna be for the rest of the year or anything like that, but it is going to be for the next few months for sure. It's a busy period, so yeah. So yeah, and then January, really busy month. February, I took a week off at the start of the month and done basically rewrote the inventory check, which is basically what does your check once a day or when you click the button. Made it considerably faster, much more efficient. That's gone out. It's live to everyone now, so that's good. There's another version, like an upgrade to that's going to be going out next weekend, so on the Friday. That's good. And then some minor bugs were addressed in that week that I took off in February, start of February. I also started looking for a developer to come on board and help because I am so busy with work. Not had much luck initially, and then basically the start of this month, last week, I had a bit of luck, and I met 3 developers, and one of them was actually a friend that I worked with before at a previous company, and so I'm meeting with him this week to finalize some details, but effectively he should be on board. Now, that don't mean that suddenly there's going to be any big, large changes or anything like that. He's got to get on board. He's got to get to know the code, and yeah, I'm feeling better because it's someone I can trust. It's someone I've worked with before, someone I know well. So that's good. Yeah, that's really the update. There's no feature release or announcements, or there's no announcements at all really. The developers on board, I will announce that next week. On the Discord channel, and but yeah, there you go. Really, that's it in a nutshell.
Nice. I'm sure everyone in the chat is probably wondering, when are they going to get in? The
queue is moving very slowly. I suppose the tip that I'll give here to them is just email me. If you email me, then I will reply directly to you and say, if you want to join, you can, but there is basically I don't have the time to support all the people. So if I let the queue open, then I get all these extra people, and then I'll get a lot more support tickets raised. I can't respond to it. It just makes the service dog shit for everyone. So basically, it's just not an option for me. I've got a lot of people above me that say, no, you should just open the gates, take the money, and I'm like, no, it's not the right way to go about it, and I don't want the responsibility of ruining people's stores. A bug gets in there, and then there's lots of people. So no, it's just not an option. And until I can be available or have a developer available that we release something, it can be monitored, checked, and yeah, it's just not an option. So the queue.
How many people is the system maintaining right now as far as customers? How many people do you have running through the system right now?
There's 50 plus customers, on the system. There's quite a few on the queue. And like I say, if you contact me via email, then I'll reply and say, give you the lowdown or exactly what you'll miss out on by getting on board. And fundamentally, it nails down to matching. So this developer that comes on initially, he's going to be doing some changes to the matching. So what you can do is when you go to the not matched page, you can effectively look through a Brickout catalog and then pick out the item that you're matching to. So it won't be that you put in the Brickout ID, that is going to go away slightly, because what a lot of people were doing was adding a Brickout ID without the color reference. That basically don't work on my matching. It needs to have the color reference when you're matching your item to the other item. Now, I fair enough, I can make any change, but then I have to monitor that change for matching. So it's just not as simple as it may seem. But yeah, one of his first jobs is going to be reworking that so that you have a Brickout catalog, you pick the item, and then it'll match up. And then it's them weird items, then there'd be a long way around. If you want to, you will be able to just go to Brickout, add the item, and then basically the lot ID, you will have an opportunity to add that on Brick Freedom, and that will link it up. Now, that's for really weird items, like Brickslayer's got his figure that don't match up for him. He's got some brick lots. I don't know if he still does them, but he was doing the bags of bricks. Now I think you could, I think you could reproduce that on Brickout, and then you could match up then. So his first job is going to be to basically to do with matching and sorting out for everyone. So and obviously when people start matching things, that will benefit everyone, and that will improve the queue, because effectively the queue problem is there's a lot of people that have got a lot of items unmatched, and I don't want people to come on board with a huge amount of items unmatched. So
When I came on, I know we had a problem with a lot of the tiles, because that's one of the big problems that Bricklink has with Brick Freedom, or Brick Owl, is that they don't allow Brick Owl to use the part number that Bricklink assigned to tiles. It's got PB or whatever the letters are, that extension. They're not letting anybody use those same part numbers on another website. And that's the problem you're having, is you've got to come up with a custom unique part number or correlate it to whatever Brick Owl is using to correlate that same part. Now, when we got on, I just said, the hell with it. If it wasn't linked to a Brick Owl part, I just ignored it. Like, I don't care. My inventory is going to be smaller on Brick Owl than it is on Bricklink, because I didn't go back and make all those connections between the two. Does that matter for your system at all? Does that make anything worse, or not matter at all? Just can't find them.
You just can't find them.
Okay.
And then what will happen is, over time, other people will have items that you have in your store. They might match them up, and then you'll get the benefit of the match will come up sooner or later.
Okay.
But basically, part of the kind of the chap that's coming on board is nothing to do with Lego. He don't care about Lego. He is a developer. So it basically the matching is going to be kind of training for him to understand the connection, because there's a weird connection between Bricklink and Brickout. Some parts on Bricklink are gear or on Brickout, and some things have a weird connection. My matching service kind of likes to be very, very unique. I'm saying this is a part, this is a part, this is a gear, this is a gear. Now I can override it, but it don't do it automatically. So there's just some my fault. I was trying to make it too good. That matching service just too good. That's basically.
If I've got 1,000 tiles that are all unique, and I don't do anything about it, the only way you can do it is to go through one by one and connect those links from the Bricklink to the Brick Owl part numbers.
Yeah, what Brickout do? People submit the Bricklink number to Brickout. So what I will do is, over a period, and I haven't run it for a while, so I need to run it, is I can run the Bricklink numbers against Brickout, and it will kind of tell me if it's available and give me the Brickout ID. So that is another option that we have. The matching service is going to get basically overhauled.
Right.
It is going to be his first job. It's not going to start straight away. In a few weeks to get on board, then his first kind of project is going to be that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that you and I talked about in the beginning. You told me that we were going to have these problems not being able to match a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. Just, if I've got a little bit lower inventory quantity over on Brick Owl than I do on Bricklink, it's like, so what? I didn't care too much in the beginning. I still don't. I think I went in and played around with it and mashed a few. But I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and do 600 items. It's like, I don't care that much. They're a penny a piece.
And the intention was that I was going to basically help people. There's just too many. I didn't expect the amount of items not matched at all on Brick.
Thousands.
Yeah, there is a ton of items where, and it's not a simple task of connecting all the dots to find the part and the item. And then the common problem is if there's no image. If there's no image on Brickout and it's like a part with a sticker, which is obviously for used part is the biggest concern, is that if there's no image, then I'm not 100% sure I'm connecting up the right part. If they have two of them in the set, I effectively have to go and check, do they have 2 in the set? That would be a pass on when I'm matching it. I'll go, right, I'm passing, because it's worth spending more time on the quick ones that I can just say, okay, that's a direct connection. It is a sync. Right, let's sync that up. What needs to happen is that more development needs to be done on the matching service so that I can get more statistics on it. So I can work out and say, right, there's only one part that's got a sticker on it with it in this set. So the chances of it being are high. The thing is, I want that 100% connection. So the new matching service will be that you can match up items, and it will come to us, and we might approve them for other people. What I'm trying to say is, if you match up an item, that does not mean it will match up for everyone else. It will only match up for everyone else when when Brick Freedom approve it. Because even though it's painful, I do want the long-term benefit for Brick Freedom is to have that connection to be as good as possible. Okay, so that is the key. Is if it's broken, or if I'm letting people put in the wrong connections, it doesn't benefit Brick Freedom long term.
Somebody asked if they add the Brick Owl ID and the color ID, would it auto match?
It would not auto match, but on my matching service, I basically have a button on the back end where I click, and anyone who's added the thing, I will go through that list. If it comes up with a direct, then yeah, I just press the button and it will match. So yeah, it's much quicker. And if you don't add the color ID, effectively it's being ignored at the moment, because the code would need changing to go and check what color you have, what you're then matching to, which is not too hard, but like I said, it's the time to actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I'm very happy with it. I think the biggest benefit we've gotten from it so far, obviously, is the linking to Brick Owl, the syncing. That's nice, but the order picking. I mean, we've broke your system a couple of times. We've gotten up into we've hit triple Z a couple of times, and it's like we need quadruple Z now because we're getting up into, like, I think we did one that was 78 orders at one time we pulled. And we probably had like 84 really, so there was probably like 6 or 8 we couldn't pull at the same time. But it's kind of hard pulling that many orders in a day or two. We usually take
it needs to be tested. There needs to be some testing, because you need to check the memory consumption. That's all it's going to be. Your browser is just consuming so much memory because you've got so much.
That's the only real problem I've noticed is that the system. You know, the lag that you wind up getting just highlighting an item after a while. And I don't know if that's because of Brick Freedom or the tablets and phones that we're using, if the memory is just getting really bogged down on the device. But once you're up into, oh man, we had 1,400 or 1,500 lots we were pulling all at one time. And it's just, it gets slower and slower as you go, but it's just, I don't think it's anything that you're doing. I think it's just we're bogging down the app itself.
The funny thing is it would probably be easier to split the load. So you could say if you've got 35 orders, then A has the first 20, you got 15 in B, any more come along, they come in the B section. And then so you can, and then so then it will be much more responsive. Like I say, longer term, we will need to monitor the page while you're adding, or while I'm adding or testing, adding more lots and see. But it will be a memory issue, it will be a coding memory issue, because it should be able to withstand tens of thousands. Yeah, if it's done. So, and I have to admit, it's not the cleanest of code for the order picker. It's a bit of jQuery. Anyone who knows code, most people won't, but it's a bit of jQuery, and it's just highlighting a row. So, there is exciting stuff coming, but it's just not coming anytime soon. Because
okay, I mean, we got to the point where we figured that if we can keep it around 40 orders per batch, it seems to be relatively quick. As you get towards the bottom of the list, if you're around 600-800 lots, it will tend to slow down a little bit when you're clicking on the items, but it's not unusable by any means. When you're up around 1,500, that's when it starts really lagging, because by the time you click on something and then you scroll down, it's like, because you touched it, it's unclicking or something stupid like that. But I don't know if that is necessarily your system or just the device. It could just be the tablets, because we're using Samsung tablets to run Brick Freedom on, and we don't have any problem as long as it's a relatively average batch of orders. If it's like 30 to 40 orders, it's really not a problem. Up to, I would say, maybe 800 lots. Anything under 800 lots, we have like no problem. But
yeah, the key change that would have slowed it down was that it makes a request every time that you're clicking the button. So if you've got 15,000 lots to pick, or 1,500 lots to pick, then you're effectively going to make 1,500 requests over that time to Brick Freedom. Yeah, because it's keeping in sync. Now, initially, what I was doing was kind of doing it over a time delay. So it would be every 5 seconds, it would say, right, you've clicked these. But I didn't really like that because it wasn't 100% one-to-one. You could be halfway through. Basically, it could crash as you've clicked one of 5, clicked 5 items, but it's only tracked the last 5. So you would basically lose track. So now it's a one-to-one. Every time you click it and unclick it, you're sending a request. So
yeah. So we're beating the shit out of the server, is what you're saying.
No, it's all the server. Don't even sweat.
But it's a hell of a time saver when we're doing the big lot picks and stuff like that. It's been really nice. So very happy with it.
Thank you, Steve.
My wife says, "Thank you, Steve." She used to go around picking a couple orders at a time, like 1 or 2, and then we started getting more and more orders. And she's like, "Well, maybe we should try this," because I remember you came on and talked about it the first time, and I'm like, I was leery, not because of anything that you're doing, but just the whole jumping off of Brick Sync to anything else. I was like, it's working, don't touch it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we're going to go over there and hope this works. And all right, let's try it. And definitely glad we did, because, I mean, there's no way you could pick 40, 50 orders in a day doing 1 or 2 at a time. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it would take forever. Plus, a lot of people, I think, they've spent like a year building their store, and then all of a sudden it's like, if I use this program, is it going to destroy everything and mess it all up?
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to commit to it.
Yeah, that's the one thing we have zero issues as far as inventory problems. The only glitch we ran into this whole time was that once or twice that we dealt with you where the same lot was sold in both stores within what? You said like 15, 20 seconds of each other.
Yeah.
Well, that should be, if you've enabled the Bricklink post notifications, that basically put that URL into Bricklink, Brick Freedom URL into Bricklink, then you should never get that now. Because basically, as soon as your order comes through from Bricklink or Brickout, within, I think the average I calculated was in, I don't know, one or 2 seconds. It was very, very low. The order will be processed instantly. The biggest problem that's happening at the moment, and I manually address at times, I get an email and I have to go and address it, so I don't pass it back to the user, you guys, is that if the inventory check is running and you get an order, then that screws things up. Basically, because what's happening is the inventory check starts and then the Brickout order will come in. It's obviously only matters if it's your secondary store. So if your Bricklink primary store and your secondary store is Brickout and you're running an inventory check and your Bricklink store picks up the inventory, and then basically on Brickout an order's processed, ship's removed, and then Bricklink still doing the inventory check goes to Brickout and goes, no, you don't match, and then matches it up again. And then, okay, so that is the only kind of problem that can happen. That's that. But obviously, it's down to the time that it takes for your store to sync. So the quicker that is, the better, which is hence why I spent time in the start of February of improving the inventory check to make it considerably faster. In February, we had an infrastructure upgrade as well, so make it faster as well, because you can pay, as with anything with Amazon, you can just pay more money and they will make it faster. So I've done that as well. And so, yeah, so effectively that's the only problematic bit. Now, I don't have the time, but what it's going to do is that is going to be passed back to the user. So effectively what will happen is if you have an inventory check and your next order check, you have an order, then it will effectively, you'll get an email and it will say you need to just check this because there's
all these parts.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's only in your secondary store as the inventory check's running, and it only matters it doesn't matter for the whole inventory check. It only matters at a certain point of it. So even if your inventory takes a minute, it's only if it happens in the last 30 seconds that there's a concern. So it's low, and like I say, I get an email, I address it manually, and effectively make the changes myself of what would have happened. A couple of people have picked it up before I've even done it. They mailed me and said, I've got this item not found error, and that was that basically, because what would happen is Brickhouse sold the item, so the lot ID has gone, and then Bricklink's put the item back on with a different lot ID, so when it goes to process the order, it's the wrong lot ID. So my software goes, well, whether it's not in sync, what's happened here? And there you go. So, and then you get the item not found. So you get an error. If I don't clear it quick enough, then you still get the error up on your screen. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, but it's been running flawlessly for the last, 3-4 months. We haven't had any problem at all.
It should run a lot smoother now because a lot of people have moved into that Bricklink post notification, so I don't need to ping them every 5 minutes to check orders. I've changed that to half hour, and because the orders come in instantly, then yeah. Now the offside of that, which I haven't got a fix for at the present time, is on Brickowl. They ping me so quickly that the payment has not been made yet. So the order comes through on Brickowl, comes to me, I take the items off your inventory, but the status is not paid, so you won't pick it until the next order check, and then the payment status will come through, and then you'll pick it. But yeah, there's a bit of a delay there that I need to think of a way to address. Either do a quick order check 2 minutes later or 5 minutes later, and I don't know. I'll have a think and have a solution. But it don't break anything. That's the main important thing.
That's something I found to be kind of annoying on Brickowl is when you get a payment, it'll show you that it's pending for whatever period of time. I don't know what they've got it set to, but it could be hours before it says that the items are actually paid for. And Brick Freedom won't pull that order into your current pick list automatically until it switches over to paid. And I don't know why they've got their system set up to leave it in pending for so long, because Bricklink is instant.
Because effectively, you're in a contract as soon as you've done the first part. So as soon as the order comes through, effectively, you're in a contract to pay for it. Mm-hmm. But I think Brickowl are taking the extra step of just waiting for the payment before they it's as if the contract's not true until they've paid. Once they pay, then the contract comes into action. Where Bricklink, as soon as you click that button, you're in a contract, and effectively, I suppose you could fight them for the money and say, no, you have to pay. You effectively click the button, you're paying for what you've brought. But yeah, it works. You just cancel the order and go through the hassle.
I don't know. Other than that, it seems to run really smooth.
The other thing is, in last week's episode, I noticed you were talking about Bricklink and the stock room. Oh, yeah. I just want to make clear that Brick Freedom's not using the stock room. It will do, because it's going to improve the order checks. And basically, it's to just keep a better track of things that are sold in that stock room, so that there is a less chance. Basically, I'm trying to get it somewhere. Something's not right, and I don't think it's Brick Freedom. Basically, I think it's Bricklink, and I'm trying to track down where they're fucking up. Where they're screwing up. Basically, I'm trying to track where they're screwing up, because I don't have any users coming to me, but in the Brickhouse forum and in the Bricklink forum, there's people going, I'm losing items. They're just disappearing. Yeah. And I'm trying to get one of these people to get on board. Someone on Brickhouse, I'm trying to get him on board with my software, because I can track every single thing. And basically, I said to him, I'll let you know in a couple of days. Just if you follow it and tell me what you've missed at what time, I'll tell you what software done it and where. But yeah.
We had the same problem when we were using BrickSync. It was something that I did, and I did it a couple of times and didn't realize it. We lost a bunch of parts a couple of times, and then we also had double inventory loaded into the system a couple of times. So what wound up happening was when you're using BrickSync, you have to go into that BL Master mode. I don't know if you've used it, but I'm sure you've probably played with it before. You have to go into the BL Master mode, which makes Bricklink the master inventory list temporarily. So when you upload your parts to Bricklink, as soon as you turn the BL Master mode off, BrickSync knows to synchronize any updates anything that's changed in Bricklink to migrate that over to BrickOwl. It's kind of like an on-off switch that kind of severs the synchronization between the two while you're doing your updates in Bricklink. And then once you turn that off, it resynchronizes everything instantly again. We uploaded parts a few times without turning the BL Master on, which didn't sever the synchronization. So we're uploading parts to Bricklink, and BrickSync pretty much just ignored the fact that those parts had been uploaded because it looked at Bricklink, and said, well, this is wrong, and just wiped out anything that we had uploaded. And we had that happen a couple of times where the parts were on one site, not on the other site, and then they were just gone. And we're like, well, where the hell did all these parts go? Well, we put them on Bricklink, sold them, but they were still over on BrickOwl, or vice versa. And I know I caught myself doing it once or twice where I forgot to turn the BL Master on and off when we uploaded parts or made changes to the inventory, and that just fucked everything up.
Well, thankfully, Brick Freedom records everything, every change, and the longer term aim is to actually benefit from that. You'll just be able to put in a part number in it to give you a direct history of what happened, where you sold it, how you added it, how many you added, etc., so that you can find these kinds of problems.
Right.
It is a keen interest of mine to make sure that the inventory is basically like 100% exact. So that is the order picker is going to be another thing that I'm going to be working on with the way it tells you the remaining. It's going to kind of have a verification button on it so that you can actually verify your remaining. And effectively what you can then do is, as you're picking your orders, you can verify your quantities. And then if you really want to spend an hour on it, then you'll get a list, and then you can go through and just check some quantities that you want. But basically, it's just a case of when you're doing order picking, it's the best time to do a quantity check as well. It won't work for big drawers where you've got 200 items in the drawer. Granted, we're talking it's only going to benefit for the medium to smaller drawers where you can count at a reasonable fast pace. But yeah.
That'd be super nifty.
Yeah.
Is there any, Leaf Hunter asked, is there any new features or user requests that are on the horizon in the future?
No. So the next thing that's going to be changing is, so there's two kind of work streams. There's one where this new developer is going to come in. He's going to be working on matching so that I can kind of get that moving, because until the matching's fixed, I can't move the queue. So yeah, he's going to be working on that. My work stream is going to be the next thing. I'm going to be booking, or I booked a week off at the start of April, and that is going to be the order check. That's where the stock room comes in, and basically it's putting that on. Also, what I'm doing is commenting my code for when the other developer comes in. It's easier for him to understand where everything is, so that takes some time as well. And then the next thing that I will be working on after that is basically going to be the pricing. So the pricing, I was about 90% of the way through the new pricing, and the only reason that I didn't finish off is because I wouldn't have been able to support if it went wrong, or I wouldn't have been able to make any adjustments to it. So effectively, that will come afterwards. Is the pricing thing will come back. So yeah, and I don't want to go much further than that because it is really slow at the moment. So yeah.
Well, I think that's good. I mean, we don't want you to put out a pricing thing that's kind of like halfway working because that could cause stuff to
Yeah, no, exactly.
at the wrong price, and I think everyone understands that.
Why
It
did I
needs to be
find out 180% off?
Now, what I am going to be doing though, weirdly, is if you remember, I'm going to be checking a few people for stock because I've got basically my eldest moved out and I've got a new office, which is their old room, and I've got a back wall, and I've been putting a big collage up, Lego collage. I don't know what I'm putting up there yet, but I'm going to need a lot of bricks. So how better way to get it than by talking to people that are on the system? So yeah, expect me to come and knock on the door and go, So yeah, seriously, I will be knocking on doors. So yeah.
Looks like we got one more question here. Just came in. Can we get access to our detailed logs? For example, which parts were sold and what quantity? Doesn't matter if the logs are messy, but the data is valuable.
Yes. It's how, if someone sends me an email or drops it as a suggestion on Discord, basically the problem I've got is how you want it laid out, how you want it set out. And I mean, a CSV would be the easiest thing, so you could just import it to something. It'd be easier for me to create because there's no kind of front end. You just press a button and you could get all your order items that have sold. The problematic bit where I part is where you are allowed a primary store as Bricklink and Brickout. So anything I build, I have to build it in two kind of forms. Yeah, because if it's a Brickout user, they want everything in a Brickout ID in a Brickout format and a Brickout breakdown. If they're a Bricklink user, they want it in a Bricklink breakdown. So everything is twice as much work. So it is painful. But basically, a CSV, and just put the suggestion on Discord and just say what the columns you think it would be, and it's quite easy. You've got an item number, you've got the quantity, Basically, if you go on the channel and just ask me what's available, I can give you a breakdown of all the fields that are available, so I can do that as well. But yeah, that shouldn't be too hard.
How hard would it be, just out of curiosity, how hard would it be just to make a blanket CSV download button of, all orders placed, one for Bricklink, one for Brickout, and just give them all the columns? Who cares? Let us
You don't want that. Because you can, but then you're trying to merge Brickout and Bricklink data together.
No. Two separate links.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you've got Bricklink data or Brickout data, you don't know how many black parts you sold unless you add the two together. What my CSV will produce is all in Bricklink format, and it will just combine your orders from Bricklink, Brickout, and not care about your Brickout ID or color. It will all be in Bricklink format, and which means you get all of your orders are relevant of the system. Yeah, in one format. That's the benefit of doing it. The other one, that's easy to do, and I can knock that up in no time.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was something real simple. You didn't have to spend a lot of time on, just something to make available for the few people that might want it.
It's not that hard because I've got a connection between the two items I have to, and so it's quite. It is a very small amount of code for me to get it so that the order checker is done that way. So when you get a Brickout order, everything's in Bricklink language, or most of the things should be in Bricklink language, and that it's a similar thing to that. So
I would think most of the people on here are probably using Bricklink as the primary,
92%, 93%, something like that are Bricklink.
That's not what I thought.
Someone wants to know if there's a way how to find out total parts sold.
Well, in that you'd have to get that CSV will give you everything, and then you could use sheets to do a group. But basically, I could probably even put a one-page guide up on it. But you just add a create data filter, and you can do group, like just group by and pick an item and see how many you sold of that item, colors and everything, and then sum up. So it'd be easier to do it that way. If I prefer not to add unique fields. Yeah, so per part, he's saying. So basically, what I'm saying is what you would have is the CSV would be every single part in every single color. At the top, you would have a data filter, and basically all that is a drop down, and you could put in there, I want 2x4 or 3004 or whatever number it is in black, and then it would give you all the list. And at the bottom of your data set, you will just have a sum column. You will just add total columns to the bottom of your data set, and that will give you the sum of what you sold. And you could even then, the date column would be in there, so you could even add that and say between these two dates, so you could even analyze it that way as well. So basically, the CSV would give you much more functionality than me just going, this is what I think you want to see. So, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have to build a big query with a bunch of drop-down boxes to be able to filter through everything if you're going to try to do it on a page.
Yeah.
Leaf Hunter asks, is it possible to allow all access to all posts? Hold on.
Okay, yeah. The
all months and years.
Yeah, this is effectively going to turn into that. The week we're probably going to remove, and what you're going to get is monthly, and then you can pick any month and year. And now the other restriction is what I did not know is that some purged orders on Bricklink, if they're dated a long time ago, I won't get the items for them. So including them in that report is weird. So I need to make a decision on how it works. And basically what is weird about it is when you look at the report, if you looked at 2020, the reports at the bottom of giving you a breakdown of items is not exactly true, because it might be only 7 months of data, where the totals at the top are 12 months because we have the high level, how much you sold in total, but not the low level items. So effectively what's going to change is you're going to have a setting to say what you want to be able to view, and the default will be I only show you reports where I've got items as well. I don't show you any reports for purged orders previously. You would have to turn that on, and So, yeah.
Is that something that would wind up being saved in your database on the server of the old orders, or is that just going to get purged, period, no matter what, eventually?
Well, what I've not tried, I've got it on the ticket, and it's not close, but what I've got on the ticket is to actually see on Bricklink. I don't even know if you can download purged orders as well. I don't think you can. So then in that case, then there still be on the system so that you can tick it and get a global number of what you sold from what we can gather. But yeah, generally the reports page, that will be just where we got the items for the orders.
Okay. So as Bricklink purges them, that shifts along with your filter. Anything that has purged won't show anymore.
Yeah, and some reports on that page don't actually show for 30 days, 60 days, because I gather the data until the report's available. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's some reports that are like that as well.
Okay. That was one of the things I liked about Brick Freedom when I went on there, is that, it shows all your parts over the last year. And I was kind of like, is that number right? Because I wasn't sure if that's going all the way back to January 1st or Bricklink cutting off half. So your total parts sold are correct.
Yes.
It's just the detail information is going to fluctuate on the colors and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Any other questions for Steve in the chat?
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any. Everything's been working pretty good for us. I don't think I can think of anything I really need.
Like I say,
stuff,
I was going to say, if anyone's watching and they want to get on board, then drop me an email and I'll reply tomorrow or later for me, tomorrow for you.
Yeah, time what, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning?
3:15. So not too bad.
Now you get to go to your other job, right?
I just got an order from some guy on Bricklink, and then he emails me, "Hey, can I have the tracking number?" It's like, dude, you just paid for the order. Man.
You should reply, yeah, as soon as I generate one. Yeah,
I think this is Amazon.
Blue Mountain Bricks says, "Thanks for doing this. It's very helpful," and I agree. It's very, very helpful. Like I said, I was scared in the beginning just of making any changes because everything was being synchronized as well as it was, even though I made a few mistakes. But I'm so glad we did.
I'll come back on in a couple of weeks and let you know how it's going. Because if I get that developer on board, give it three or 4 weeks, I could jump back on and hopefully he will be on board.
Is there anything that would be useful or helpful to you from all of us being the users? Is there anything that you could think of that's like, hey, if you guys did this, it'd make my life a hell of a lot easier, or this would be faster, or you know what I mean? Yeah, quit your bitching and get off my Discord. That'll help a lot.
Is it possible to bring order comments into Brick Freedom? Okay, so the benefits of using the post notifications is that Bricklink actually sends you a post notification when the message comes through. Now, I have been recording them, and the intention is that what's going to happen is it will be put on the order picker and on the order postage page. Is that you will have basically a little message icon, and it will say how many messages are attached to that order. I don't have a time frame for that. That could go out next weekend. It could go out the weekend after. It's not. It's been going for a little while now, and I just wanted to make sure it's working. And there'd be a little warning saying I'm not guaranteeing that every single order that. Yeah, it's going to be that thing of that. I would still advise checking for the moment, but yeah, it's essentially going to come in the next couple of weekends that it will just attach. And it's only from that post notification. So if I'm guessing it's only, so it's not any normal messages won't come through where I can get them as well, but they're going to come through the system. It's only going to be where it's an order message, basically. And yeah, that will be attached to the message. Brickowl has the ability to add a note, and that is now on the order postage page already. So yeah.
Okay, because I think it would ideally be best if it was on the multi-pick list page, like you have each of the order numbers at the top. If there was notification,
a message icon. Yeah, that basically that will have a message icon, and then on the order postage page you'll have a message icon in there as well.
Okay, because a lot of the time it's like, hey, put these in separate bags or something like that.
Yeah,
so before you package everything, then you wouldn't see it and be like, oh crap, now I got to repackage it all.
Yeah, the pain. I didn't really feel the pain because I didn't have a lot of orders. So when you don't have a lot of orders, you don't feel the pain because I'll get the email and I can notice someone sending me a message because Bricklink sends you a very specific message that says you've been messaged about this order. So I generally check it that way. So I didn't kind of connect the dots. But if you've got a lot of orders coming in, then I can understand that you kind of just want it on the page. You don't want to have to go through your email and shit like that.
I don't get any message that says there's messages.
So you're not? Oh, no, I do.
I have to go in and check each one. I had one the other day. It was like, please bag each item in separate bags. And I was like, there's 40 items here. I was like, well, whatever, I guess. All little 2 baggies. I think they just wanted free baggies or something. But
selling them on.
Yeah, so who knows? Yeah.
My store's closed. I closed my store in December. Yep. So as soon as that happened, I kind of closed my store. I took all my items off eBay that I had synced to eBay as well. That all closed down as well. So I now got a room with a bunch of Lego and loads of stuff for Lego. So if anyone in the UK needs that, Lego and lives near North London, then yeah, get in touch. I'll give you a nice discount.
Well, if you felt like adding anything that could scan our local Walmarts for Lego clearance, because the other bot that was called BrickBot is now a fee-only site. We were using it to find all the deals on Lego, but I don't think anyone is going to pay for it. So it was quite an extravagant system the guy made. So, oh yeah, Sean's not using your program yet. He still picks one at a time.
Oh boy.
Literally, like I think he said he picked 58 orders today, one at a time.
Oh,
So yeah, when he gets into multi-order picking, he's gonna have so much more time on his hands.
I think his guys will have more time on their hands.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it for you, Steve.
all right, thank you.
Thank you for joining. Let me know next time you want to be on. We'll get you on.
Cheers. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, bud. Have a good night. Get some sleep.
Cheers. See you
All right.
later.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Ooh, I got my first negative feedback in almost a year and a half today.
What?
Woohoo! Finally.
I haven't got one yet.
I got 2 neutrals over the last year, and that was the first negative today because I canceled the guy's order. Remember I called you this morning?
Oh, yeah. He gave you negative?
He gave me negative feedback. I gave him a nice little explanation of what happened, and evidently he's all butthurt because I guess he wasted the time of picking. He didn't spend an order. He only had like 15 lots. There's no way he spent an hour digging through parts. But anyway, yeah, I got a negative feedback because I canceled the customer's order yesterday. Yesterday when we uploaded, oh man, probably uploaded about, I don't know, $800 worth of parts.
Mm-hmm.
And today when we got up, there was an order that was like a huge chunk of those items that got uploaded. And for some reason, I don't know, we didn't know exactly what it was. There was a glitch in the software, and all the prices for the parts were like a decimal off. So instead of the parts being $2.35, they went in at 23 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent the guy a message and said, hey, I apologize. Evidently, there's some kind of huge glitch. And I mean, the guy ordered like hundreds of these plates. So it's like, you're talking probably $200-$300 hit I would have taken if I'd just given them to them. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but we got to cancel this order. We got to fix the inventory problem. And after I got off with you, I probably spent 2 hours going through and verifying all the inventory and making sure that all the prices were correct. I downloaded
Brickstore?
Yeah, I went into Brickstore and downloaded my whole inventory off of Bricklink. Went through, redid everything, double checked that it was all 6-month average, and then started uploading it. And there were like tons of mistakes. And there was a glitch in something that we did at our end that for some reason the parts were going in like 1 decimal place off. And it was
not good.
Yeah, I mean, any part that was over, everything that was going in for $2 or $3 was going in for 20-30 cents.
Yeah.
And it was hundreds of parts. So he left me a nasty, and I got a nasty negative feedback today.
You might be able to fight it. I don't know.
Whatever, I don't care. 1 out of like 2,000 or 3,000. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So let's hear about your $1,100 catastrophe.
All right. So listen to this. So I'm home all the time, right? And no one's here. So I have these stupid dogs. So I have like one that their tongue hangs out and it has no teeth. It literally looks like a retarded dog. It lays in bed all day. Literally 24 hours a day it lays in my bed. And it's just like it's a cat or something. I don't know. And then we got this other dog that's too old that it can't run. So like I like to go jogging. So I'd like to have a dog to go jogging with. So I thought, hey, I'm going to get a dog because my birthday is coming up next Sunday, I think. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it'd be great if I had a dog. And I don't want to get a dog that sheds everywhere because then you have hair everywhere. So I found this great website. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I got to get rid of my Bricklink thing so you guys don't see it. All right. So I found this I looked at all kinds of different dogs. And it comes here. I settled for a Bernese Mountain Dog crossed with a poodle. And this is what they look like, right? So look at this website. Looks all nice. They ship by air. Talks about all the different kinds and all kinds of crap about them. And then it's got a few that are for sale. They look super cute. Make you want to buy them, right? So I thought we'd buy this one right here. It's only $8.50. These usually go for like $3,000 around here. And then it has the parents. So it looks pretty legit, right? So I like contacted them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, are you a breeder? Like, do you have the means to take care of a dog? Like, all the stuff a normal breeder would ask you. Like, they don't want to just give you a dog to someone who can't afford it." So I was like, "Oh yeah, you know, we have a couple dogs, whatever." And they're like, "Okay, we'll let you adopt one of our dogs." And they're like, "You have to send payment." So they said they were down in Arkansas, which makes sense. Like, the stuff said it was down there. And they wanted us to pay through Zelle, which is through your bank. And I pay my cleaning lady through that. So I was like, whatever, you know. So I send them the money. It was like $900 and then $200 for shipping or whatever. And I even looked up flights, and the flight was like $200. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then they said, okay, you'll get it in like 2 days. We'll make arrangements. And then the morning of, they're like, okay, it's dropped off at the airport or whatever. And they gave me this delivery service place. So they have this whole freaking website for shipping. And they even have like a tracking number, and you can enter the tracking number and stuff. And they gave me a tracking number, and I put it in here, and it literally came up, said my address and stuff. And I was like, man, this is pretty sweet. So nothing kind of out of the ordinary there. And then about an hour later, the shipping company sent me an email and said that I had to pay for a air-conditioned crate for the dog because of the weather. And I was like, fuck, it's like 30 degrees here. Like, he would need a heated crate, not an air-conditioned crate. I was like, that seems weird. And then I scrolled down farther, and it's like the best one is $5,000, but it's 90% refundable. And then there's like a better one, which is like $3,000, and then the okay one is like $1,500. All are 90% refundable. And I was like, I'm not even going to see this crate. Like, why the hell would I have to pay this? So, and then they're like, send payment through Zelle to this email. And I was like, well, that definitely seems fishy now. Like, any business website has like a business payment thing. And I was like, nope. And then we bickered back and forth. And I tried the phone number on the website, and it like wouldn't go anywhere. I was like, well, that's weird. And then I was like, dude, give me your phone number so I can like call your manager and ask him what the hell the problem is. And then I told the dude that I was buying it from, I'm like, hey, they want like extra money or some crap. And he's like, oh, it's 90% refundable. You're fine. And I was like, why not just like I'll pay on delivery? If it's really the 90% would be like $150. I was like, I'll just pay when I pick it up. Like, I don't see what the problem is. And they went back and forth. He was like, well, I can send $500 if you can cover the other $1,000. And I was like, how would he get his money back if the dog's coming to me? I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I finally got a phone number from the shipping dude. I called, and this freaking Indian dude answers. And I was like, I think this is the guy that was trying to sell me my extended warranty last week. So I tried to talk to him, and his accent was so thick that I couldn't even understand what the hell he was saying. So he's like, I'll text you. And I was like, okay. And he's like, send money. I was like, no. So I found the phone number on the tracking info for the seller from Arkansas, supposedly. And his name was like Oliver Johnson or something. So I called that guy, And the same freaking Indian dude answered the phone. And I said, who is this? And he's like, Oliver. And I was like, dude, I just talked to you. And he's like, yeah, you did. And he's like, I mean, no, you didn't. I was like, dude, I was like, you are so trying to scam me. I was like, give my money back. And so he's like, send the money or you don't get the dog. And then the shipping company, there was 2 phone numbers they were using, one out of Las Vegas and one out of Arkansas. And they're like, your dog's in the cockpit. I can't take a picture of it. Because I was like, send me a picture of this dog. And they were like, no, I can't. And they're like, I'm not talking to you anymore until you send the money and blah, blah, blah. And finally, I was like, screw these guys. I'm going to screw them over. So what I did, I pretended I was a new buyer under the name Mike Jones, went to the website, inquired about a different puppy, and they must have a bunch of people running the scam because I accidentally left my name on my email. So, like, if it was the same dude, he would have seen my name. But he's like, thanks, Mike. And he replied. And then I was like, oh, I want to pick it up. I want to get it right away today. Like, how can I pay? And he's like, oh, pay through Zelle. And then he used the same email that the shipper guy was trying to use. And I was like, oh, I don't have that. And he's like, you can download it. And I said, oh, no, I have a flip phone. I can't download apps. I said, but I could do direct deposit from my bank to your bank, a wire transfer. I just need your routing number and bank account number. And eventually, he literally sent me a copy of his routing number and bank account number form from the bank. I then took it and I uploaded it to my credit cards companies, and then I paid off my credit cards. So my 1,100 is now 18,000. And after Monday, I hope it all goes through because it's still pending, but because it's the weekend. But if this works, guess what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be scamming them scammers all the time because I got bills to pay.
Oh shit!
And then another one today was like, "Oh, you want your dog? Send me a check." And then he sent me his address, and it's in India. And I was like, "This dude ain't gonna call no police. He's not even in the country." But the bank account was in the country, so hopefully it goes through. And yeah, he like one. I tried to get his bank account number. He wouldn't give me it. And then I told him, "Hey, Barry asked about you." I said, Barry. If you type in Barry Big Dick on Google, you'll see a large black man. And I sent him some pictures of him. I haven't heard from him since.
Oh shit, dude!
So I did get scammed, but I'm pretty sure I might have got way more than he scammed me for. So.
Scam the scammer.
And I contacted my bank, and they're working on trying to give me the money back. But
there's a guy on YouTube that does a lot of that, where the Microsoft.
Oh yeah, some of those guys, he can like go in and like get in their computers and stuff,
empty their bank accounts and wipe out their hard drives. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's how I got scammed. Let me look at the comments here. Jason says, I only like dogs that can pick up and bag their own poop. Sean says, scam for a dog. Dun, dun, dun.
That's crazy, though.
Corey said that I mentioned 25% discount coupon when signing up for Amazon Business tax-free account. Corey, I did get that. I actually never used the coupon, but it was about a month after I signed up. I didn't buy anything yet, so they kept trying to like give me coupons to incentivize me to buy something. So, Jeff, when does a minifigure condition go from new to used? Well, if you buy it in a new box, it would be new. If you get it in a used lot, it would be used. If you put it together and played with it and then took it, and then I guess it would be used. But don't be selling used stuff you get in a bulk lot as new, because that's scamming. But anyways, so back to my dog story. So I got scammed out of it, right? And in the end, I ended up finding a dog nearby, which turned out to be a golden retriever cross with a poodle. So now I got this guy. Look at this cute puppy.
Oh, he's so cute.
Aw.
Say hi to Milo. He just woke up. Boop. Say hi.
He's like, man, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Go to sleep. He's tired.
He's-
Right. He's falling asleep. He's just a little guy. See? Little guy. Okay, you can go back to sleep. So he hangs out in the office all the time now. All right, so that was what I was going to show you. So don't get scammed over the internet by the Indians. Let me show you that website that I found those Sterilite containers at. Here we go. Oops. So I've been doing lots of research. I literally almost bought 20 of these. Like I literally was at the point where I just had to click checkout. So if you guys don't use Mr. Rebates, you should definitely use the link in my description. You get 1% back on this website. Lego website, I think you get 2% back. But I just cashed mine out and got like $19 last month. So it's just a little add-on thing. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. But the website is reallygoodstuff.com. Same trick as Zorro is you add a bunch of crap to your cart and then you leave. But make sure you register for their emails because they'll send you an email and it'll say like, hey, you forgot to check out your cart. Here's 10% off coupon, blah, blah, blah. They get free shipping if it's over $39. So the 3-drawer storage units, so it doesn't say that they're Sterilite or what the part number is, but one of the reviews says it's the 3092, which is the exact same one that Walmart has, which is the wide one. So it's the one you want. I seen a picture on one of the reviews that had the actual sticker on it. It's this exact same as Hobby Lobby. They say they're $16.99. They're discounted for $14.99. They've been like that for quite a while. Yeah, so the $14.99, they'll send you a coupon for 10% off. Actually, it has a coupon code right up on top here, welcome 10. And if you keep checking back, they'll send you another coupon for I think it's $10 off. But then if you wait a little longer, you can get this 20% off coupon. And they'll keep sending it for a while. But like that would literally save you, like I have it in here right now, $48 if I bought 16 of them. So I would definitely recommend if you want to get these, just get it down to about $11.99 a piece and free shipping. So, yeah, reallygoodstuff.com. Let's see what's in the chat here. Corey says top cash back is usually the best rebates. Nice. I just use Mr. Rebates. I've been using it for years. I've got like $500 back. It works good if you go to if you go on vacation. You can save a bunch of money on that. So, was there anything else I was going to talk about?
There was something.
I thought there was one more thing.
What was it?
I don't know.
I'll remind you something at the end.
Pizza Mia. I got a bunch of orders today, and I think 5 of them were overseas.
Does that seem adequate?
Unreasonable buyer. Order canceled. 4 inventory errors. Negative feedback left, anyways. Nice.
Does that seem reasonable? Not too rude or too nasty?
Yeah, that seems right. Oh yeah, so about the car accident. So yeah, the other day it literally, I don't know if it rained here or what, but it was like one of the last days that it was real cold here. And I think it rained, and then we got like that little bit of fluffy snow on top, and it makes it super slippery. And she just like was in a hurry or something and just barreled right into a curb. So she's got a 2020 Forester. That thing was brand new. It's got like 15,000 miles on it. It's got dings all over the place. Somebody backed into her. And then she nailed the curb, bent the rim. So I had to buy a rim online because the dealer wanted $250. I was like, screw that. It's a steel wheel. Like, it's the cheapest that it can be. So I got one online for $80, delivered next day for free. So had the dealership put that on. They're all pissed that I didn't order theirs because it's so much more.
You probably could have gone to your local U-Pull-It and got one for like $10.
Yeah, but for 2020, I don't know if they'd have any of those.
Yeah, maybe.
So, and then I went to the dealer because I called around to get an alignment because the alignment was way off after hitting the curb. And I looked at the dealer website and then a coupon for like $30 off an alignment. So I was like, sweet. So I printed that out, brought that in and got a cheap alignment. So I got it fixed, but her hubcap didn't fit the new rim. So I just took them all off. I was like, I'll get you some like chrome spinner ones from Walmart or something.
Some chrome Walmart spinners. Sweet.
Yep.
Getting that upgrade.
Still makes a weird hum when you like turn, but I don't know. I don't care. It's not my car. I should have bought her one that had like hail damage everywhere, so that if she gets any dents, you would never notice. But yeah, I didn't. But hey, maybe I'll have her cars paid off soon.
Yeah, right. Maybe the cars will be paid off by tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see.
If they do, I'll send you some bills and you can hook me up.
I figure if it does go through, I'm gonna cancel my cards right away, so they can't be like, "Oh, down the road, whoops." I'd be like, "No, it's canceled. Can't do nothing."
Man, can you imagine waking up and wondering where that 18 grand went?
Yeah. But then again, this is all they do, so I mean, they probably have quite a lot.
Yeah, I watched one that they said they were breaking in like $3 to $5 million a year pulling those Microsoft virus scams.
Oh yeah,
it's like holy shit, it's crazy money.
And I end up getting scammed. Like the only way I've learned about this is because I've been scammed so much. Somebody got my checking account number and did the exact same thing with it last year, and I had to get all new accounts.
Really?
And I was like, how the hell did somebody do that? And then it turns out you could take anybody's check and you could do that. All you need is routing number and account number. You can pay off anything you want.
Damn.
I was like, holy crap.
That's crazy.
So when you get your Biden check coming up soon,
woohoo!
You know that government account has a lot of money in there.
Yeah, get that number cut up.
I paid off my house with the government check that I got.
Don't worry about it, guys. I took care of the entire federal.
Yeah.
For you.
They don't even know how much money's in there. They just keep printing it, right?
Yeah, right. We'll just print more when they run out. No big deal.
Yep. So, yeah, that's how my week went. At least I ended up with this sweet dog.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's very well trained too. So
I wouldn't order a dog from anywhere else. I'd go pick one out somewhere. That's so much.
Well, there was none around us. That was the deal. Like these are like high demand dogs, and we couldn't get any of those around us.
Really?
That were less than $3,000, and I'm like, I'm not paying $3,000 for a dog. I can buy a car.
That is kind of crazy. $3 grand for a dog. I mean, they kind of like just breed by, naturally. It's not like there's only any extra work put in for that.
I was like, man, maybe I should give me 2 big dogs and have them make babies and get like 10 grand each time they have kids.
People do it, man.
Yeah. Who knows? Did anybody buy the what is it? The Lego video or something? It's like a bunch of new minifigs or something that came out.
Not me.
Go to Fort Myers Pier and get yourself a free dog.
That's by us.
Like free dogs down there.
There's dogs all over out here, man. We're out in the sticks, kind of. Pick up dogs walking down the street every day if you want to.
Huh. Well, I'm pretty sure I have a giant coyote like around my house. The other day, my wife was like, look at those coyote tracks. I'm like, how can you see that those are coyote tracks from like the window and it's like 50 feet away? I was like, that's like rabbit tracks or something.
Rabbit tracks.
Those bastards were like this big, like each paw print.
Wow.
I was like, holy crap. But I was like, I'm going to have to watch. My camera didn't pick them up, so we'll see. But yeah, Jared, I think it's video or some weird thing it's spelled. I don't know. I thought I seen somebody had a big box of, I don't know if they're CMFs or what they are, but they all look like they have unique new things. Steve's daughter took his.
Oh, yeah.
James, did you get your dots from 50 caliber yet?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Haven't done anything with them yet, but I will. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to come up with something.
Glue your face.
That's a lot of damn dots, dude. That's a lot of dots.
We can have a dot part out party because I have like thousands in my closet.
We actually had like a minifigure weekend. We actually busted out. I mean, I bet you we've got 20 pounds of minifigures and minifigure parts that we've just been stocking up on for the last year. Everything that we've put into inventory over the last year and a couple of months now, none of it has been figures. The only figures we put into inventory were ones that were like totally complete already that we knew were ready to sell. And every other figure that we've gotten over the last year, we've just been dumping into a tote. We had at least 20 pounds. And I went through and like gutted hundreds and hundreds of parts and, snapping the hands off the arms. So now I've got this one tote with every color arm like organized. I've got another tote with every color of hand organized. I got 3 totes with all the torsos organized by color. Then I've got another tote with all the heads organized. It's like I went through, and if you want to build a figure right now, all you got to do is grab the torso, look at the picture, and then go grab all the parts from the right totes. It's like real simple. But I bet you, I think Alex went through and just put a few together yesterday. And how much was it? It was like $500 worth of figures he just pussed around with for a few hours. It's like, damn. And that was nothing. That was just, stuff that was pretty much already complete. You just had to find like 1 or 2 little parts for.
Yeah. So when you guys put those in your store, are you just going to put all the torsos together and all the hands together?
I don't know. Maybe we should just send them out in pieces so they can build the figure themselves. That'd be kind of fun. Oh, Alex says $1,001 was the figures that you put in? Or was that the entire parts list that we uploaded? I don't think that was just figures. I think that was figures and parts.
Yeah, once you get a bunch of figures in there, you'll be getting orders for just figures, and they're expensive and they're cheap to ship.
We've really had no incentive whatsoever, other than I guess money, up until now, to mess around with the figures at all. It's just been it's like a whole separate it's like having a whole separate category of Bricklink. It's like you got to learn it. You got to learn all the subcategories. You got to learn what figures go to what series and all this crap. And it's like
you could also just list everything individually if you're already separated it all, rather than trying to build it and make figs.
But yeah,
You do that start taking you hours and hours to build figs.
yeah,
But I mean, if you have so much parts, I mean, you could just build figs.
yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, I've got probably, holy shit, I bet you we've got thousands, literally thousands of torsos and heads. I mean,
Yeah, like I have a whole bunch, and they're all like half minifigs, and it's like, do I really go through and just list the torsos, or do I go through and separate it all and then just build the figs?
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. It was like, do I just take all this crap and box it up and send it to somebody? Like, you know, I don't know if Chris or Pops or somebody. It's like, I mean, they specialize in that crap. Is it worth selling it in bulk and get rid of it? Or is it really worth the time that it takes to sit down and put them all together to sell them?
I think you'd make way more money selling it yourself. I mean, you do get like what, $100 a pound for minifig parts or something ridiculous like that.
I don't know. Is that what it goes for?
I think so.
I really don't know. Like I said, we've really never messed with them. The only ones we've put into inventory were ones that were already complete that we didn't have to really look for parts or think about very much, and we just threw them in there.
You send me your minifigs, and I'll send you an equivalent poundage of bulk.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I like that one.
Like 120 pounds sitting here. 50 pounds of figs, 50 pounds of bricks.
Yeah, here's 120 pounds of Technic tins.
No, you send even half. You send me 20 pounds of minifigs, I'll send you 40 pounds of bricks.
There you go. I'm gonna switch this over to the. I'm gonna add this to the thing. Oh, mute. Gotta mute everything so you can't hear it. It doesn't echo. Here, I'll go over and show you all the minifigure shit we just did. I don't think anybody's put it away yet. Just black, white, gray. This is like.
Did you separate the minifig stuff by color?
Hell yeah. They're all right here. If I need a white hat, they're all right there. If I need a silver one. I mean, only the really big blocks, like black and white, have that.
You should see how many monochrome figures you could build.
Yeah, right. I mean, here, this is all. So these are all the ones that are like stuff I put together. This is all the rainbow colored hats. I bet you there's 500 hats. That's just those. Down here. So sources are separated out. It's like that's 2 inches. Not more than the other ones. I had a couple other little boxes that had all the hands and the arms. One kid's probably $20. Once in a row, held the food earlier. This cup right here is nothing but Star Wars helmets. We gotta do it for 200. There we go. This is all hands. Every color.
Dang. Pretty organized there.
And the arms. This other one is just legs for taking apart. more totes floating around here with more parts. I separated out as much stuff as I could because it's been sitting around for a year. Kind of go through, do some of it, maybe. There's all the stupid sorts that we tried. What a big waste of time that was. Nobody ever do that. We're still trying to fix that catastrophe. Everyone went through all the tiles and resorted them by color. Bitching the entire time because it's a real pain in the ass. But yeah, we spent our whole weekend playing with figures.
Jeff says Goodwill recently had a 25-pound lot of minifigures go for over $3,500.
Holy shit. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
How many figures can you figure in a pound?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Blue Mountain says, what is the most efficient way to catalog minifig parts? Yeah, just like Jeff says, one at a time.
One at a time.
I'll have multiples of them, but
Steve, I bought this from Steven. I don't know if he's or David. Is it David West or the other David? I don't know the names, so sorry guys. I bought this thing. What a piece of shit.
Why'd you buy it? You're already talking bad about it.
I bought it just to see if it was as bad as I heard it was. And I don't know. I don't want to knock the guy's toy. I could see it at some point being a useful tool if it worked. But I gotta say, I mean, I tried getting onto their Facebook group to talk to somebody, and it's like a private group, and they won't let anybody in unless you actually have unless you've bought one. So it's like this exclusive club. And I registered. I've got one. I paid retail price for it. It was brand new, still in the box when I got it. And I'll tell you what, that thing couldn't get one single part right. Didn't matter if it was a figure, if it was a plate, if it was a brick. It'll come up and give you like 5 or 10 different possibilities of what you've got in there could be. It's called InstaBrick. You can go online, check it out. It's supposed to be a image recognition brick tool. Originally, from what I saw in the video, it was supposed to help you identify figures. Well,
did you build the little box and then put the white piece of paper?
I built a little box and put the white card in there and did the setup and got everything set the way it's supposed to. And the thing didn't know what the hell a 2x4 brick was. It didn't say, oh, well, it could be a 2x4 plate or a 2x4 brick. No, it's throwing up like just weird ass minifigures and miscellaneous parts and slopes. And I'm like, dude, it's a 2x4 brick. If you told me it's a 2x4 plate, I would understand you don't know the difference between a plate and a brick because it can't see three-dimensional. Okay, I get that. There was no bricks or plates in the list of possibilities. So I don't know. Now, I mean, I bought it just to play with it. And I bought it because I wanted to see what their back-end software was. I just bought it because I want to see what the hell they're doing. And I don't know. I mean, I was told not to buy it.
So you bought it.
And I'm going to forward that recommendation on. I wouldn't recommend spending, I think they're like $150 now. Maybe they're more. I don't know what they're up to now. But and the weird thing is, the thing
pounds or something. I think.
What?
I think it's 150 pounds.
Okay, 150 pounds.
Overseas, I think.
Okay. Whatever it is, I mean, and the weird thing that, I mean, I kind of get it, but I think the people that bought it was a Kickstarter project. And they produced it and they did ship it. So I got to give them credit. They're doing work, and I'm not really knocking it too bad. But the from
They
what
should have built the database.
Yeah, from what I gather, what they did was they came up with this idea, built this machine that's supposed to do something, sold it to all these people, and said, "Oh, by the way, if you want it to work, all of you people that have bought this need to do all the software work to get it to actually function. So you're going to have to take pictures of all these parts and pieces and upload them to our server so that other people can recognize the parts too." So realistically, I mean, it's like somebody built Bricklink and never put any parts in Bricklink's inventory and said, "Well, you guys just build it for us. We gave you the software. You just fill in all the blanks." And so this thing's been on the market for a few months, and from what I saw last time, the database of over 100,000 parts is like 26 or 28% complete. So it doesn't recognize anything that I put under it. I mean, I put really unique parts in there. I put here's one of the. I've got a I don't know where the hell I put it. There it is. This is like really unique. This is the only part Lego makes. It looks like this. It's a yellow Angry Bird figure. It's the only figure that looks like this. The only one. It had no idea what it was, and it was throwing up bricks and plates and.
It didn't even know it was yellow.
Yeah, it had no idea it was yellow. It didn't bring up any other yellow parts. It's just showing me. Yeah, the JT Bricks wants to do a demo next week. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll set it up, and because I can screen capture it and do the whole thing. I couldn't believe how poorly it functioned. I mean, the camera works. The AI system's doing something. It's going and looking for parts, but it's not pulling up anything even somewhat close. I mean, I put a wheel in it and it's bringing up square plates. You know, it doesn't recognize that this is round. You know, I'm the AI system I'm working on for the brick sorting works better than this. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, I think yours is much better than this.
Yeah, I sent a copy of it to Dave, and I think he had it on his phone, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, yours works better than this thing does." And I'm no computer programmer by any means, but yeah, I mean, the idea is good. Don't get me wrong. If it worked, it would be a very good product. But I think they are so far from getting the software anywhere near actually working that this thing's going to be kind of useless for another 6 months to a year, even though you just bought it. It's like, what are you going to do with it? You're going to take pictures of 100,000 parts for them and send them to them. That's what they did. They sold you a camera so you can send them pictures.
Yep.
You know, and that's kind of what it looks like to me. Like the AI stuff that I'm working on, I've got to generate somewhere between 50 and 500 images of every single part so that the AI system will understand my parts. And they're doing it with one. You know, they're thinking one picture is going to work. Yeah, Google image search works better than this. I swear it does.
Yeah, we were on Brick Nanigans, and they put my business card in there, and it came up as like a Lego figure.
Yeah, at least it knew it was a Lego, right?
Yeah. Dennis asked, James, for your second sort, how long does it take you to sort before uploading? Your second sort will probably compare to our first sort by category.
I would say yes and no at the same time. There's a reason for this too. If you think about it, if you do the actual math and pull up the parts list, if you are sorting, let's use something as an example, only because they're limited. Let's go with like 2x8 plate. Okay, 2x8 plates are limited in the colors they're available in. They're not available in every color, obviously. If you sort by plates only first, you're going to wind up with every single color of plate in front of you. And then to break that down, you're going to wind up having to take, I don't know how many plates, how many colors it actually comes in. Say it comes in 30 colors. So now you're going to take those 2x8 plates and break them up into 30 individual colors before you put them into inventory. Now do the same thing with a 1x2 plate. 1x2 plate, there's 70 colors. So if you've got a box of nothing but plates, you're dealing with a lot of parts in certain colors that you would never, ever have to even think about if you went color first. Because if you went with a color that, a rare color, say you use, in realistic, the light bright yellow is a pretty rare color. You're not going to find a lot of parts in that color. So if you filter out all the other colors and you're dealing with just light bright yellow or bright light yellow, however the hell you've got it worded, that part or that color may only have 100 parts. So you're only dealing with 100 parts. But if you've got 1x2 plates, that bright light yellow will be in there, but so will 70 other colors that you don't really care about. So if you color sort first, you're eliminating all those extra parts that aren't in each individual color. As far as how long does it take, that really depends on how big of a lot of parts we're working on. Like we just did, I want to say we probably took about 30 or 40 pounds of black parts. It might have been 50, or I don't remember exactly. Alex will probably chime in and tell you how many pounds we were working with. But it was a big tote. It could be 30 to 50 pounds of black parts. And once you've got the primary color sort done, we actually have I think right now we're doing 4 steps of sorting. First is color. Then you've got primary categories where you're going to, we'll break it down into 5 or 6 boxes. One's going to be bricks, plates, tiles, slopes, wheels, stuff like that. Your big primary category. So sometimes we put the bricks and the modified bricks in together at first. Sometimes we don't. It just depends on how big the lot is that we're dealing with. Plates and modified plates sometimes are mixed at first. Sometimes they're not. It just depends on what we feel like doing at the time. So you can either start out with 8 primary groups, or you could start out with 20 primary groups, depending on how far down you want that first actual category sort to be. I personally, and everybody in the house kind of disagrees with me at times, but I like having 8 categories, or 6 or 8 categories, something like that. So I'd put bricks and modified bricks in one box, plates and modified plates in another box. I'll take all kinds of categories and just lump them together, because my goal is to get the entire tote of 30 or 50 pounds done. I want it done, and I want it done in a day or 6 hours or 4 hours. I want it done quickly, so that if we feel like continuing to work, we can just take one of those boxes and break down all the plates in the same day or the next day, and that box is completely done and ready to be put in inventory. Where if you're trying to break down 50 pounds into 50 categories the first time around, it's going to take you days. You're not going to be able to go fast enough. So, we've got the a rough category sort, then a secondary actual category sort, and then we'll break it down by individual part. So, I think we did 30. Alex and I did black. Evelyn and Jessica did the light blue gray. And I think we both did the primary sort, plates, bricks, and tiles in 2 days. And that's probably 6 to 12 hours a day. It depends on how much we screw off, or how much, if we take 2 or 3 hour breaks. Depends on what we're doing. But 2 of us, if we really busted our asses, we could probably take an entire tote of 30 pounds and have that in inventory in 2 to 3 days. If we really, really tried. Granted, we don't really try that hard a lot of times, but I think we could. And the same thing with Jessica and Evelyn. If they did light blue gray, they could probably take a 30-pound tote, have that completely sorted and organized and in inventory in probably 2 10-hour days, something like that. So, we do work like long hours. We don't just work like 9 to 5 and take half-hour break every 2 hours. But
like my 9-3.
yeah, we get up at noon and work till midnight. That's kind of what we do sometimes. That's what we did yesterday. That's what we did today for the most part, except for getting on here. But yeah, I mean, it really just there's lots of different ways to do it, and I understand why you guys sort the parts first. I understand why. It's just not the way our store is set up. It's very, very unproductive for us to sort by category first. Because if I sort by category first, I'll wind up with, say, 30 pounds of plates.
Well, you have all your colors together, right?
Exactly, and that's what screws it up and makes it unproductive for us. Is if I've got a whole box of 2x4 plates in 30 colors, I have to go around to 30 drawers or boxes to put them all away. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I have 5 pounds of every black plate, I open one box and put them all away at once. So, I mean,
if I have 30 different colors of a same plate, I'll just put them all in one drawer like these guys. Pile them all in here.
Well, no, right. But if you've got... See, the difference between you and me is if I give you 30 of 30 different colors, you're going to go around to 30 different drawers.
Yeah, probably. Unless they're all the same part, then they might be together. But
if I've got 30 plates, they're all black, but they're different sizes, I go to one drawer.
Yeah, they'll be all in the same one.
Right. So it becomes a lot faster and more efficient for us to put away and pick parts based on color than if we had it organized by... I mean, if we had organized the store by category, then yeah, sorting by category would make a little more sense probably, because just like David's store is set up right now, where he has all of his 1x2 plates in one drawer of every color. So if he's sorting by category, he'll take all those plates, open that one drawer, and put them all in at once. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing we do, but we do it with all the plates in one color at once. So, the way he's got it laid out would be the most efficient way of doing a store like you guys are if you sort by category first. So,
like Daddy-O's Brick says, I've actually did it this way too. So he just parted together a bunch of sets that were mixed up in a used lot, sorted by color, then pulled what pieces you need based on Bricklink's inventory sheet. And that's definitely easier than digging. Like if you just keep digging through all the bricks to find the piece you're looking for, you're going to be digging through the same brick over and over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
If you separate it by color and you need a red 2x4, you go to the red 2x4 pile. Like it takes a little time up front to separate them by color if you're trying to piece together stuff, but it's so much easier to find the parts. That's how I part together sets.
Sean says he's got 50 plus category sort, which I've seen your category sheet, and that thing's horrendous. Compared to having 40 colors, that thing is a nightmare to remember. I mean, I get it. That's just the way you've been doing it forever. But I saw the sheets, and it's like I would never want to try to sort things that way. It just, the way our store is laid out, it's just really counterproductive to go the other way. We'd have to redo our entire store to be just like David's to make any sense. Because either way, unfortunately, I'm not going to try and knock anybody, but all the guys with all the Sterilite drawers, or not Sterilite drawers, but the
Acromills.
Yeah, the Acromills or the stack-ons, you guys have to open a drawer every single time for every single part. Unless you've got 2 or 3 in one drawer, parts in one drawer. But in general, you have a drawer for every single part. I've got 2 drawers for every single black plate. So I open up these 2 totes, I can put 3,000 plates away at one time. You guys have to wander around your store and find 30 different drawers to put that shit away. So, efficiency-wise, the stack-ons didn't make sense to me from the very beginning. I watched a lot of different people and, all the YouTube videos, and I just, that did not seem like the most efficient way to me. And I didn't really, we did consider laying the store out the way David did before we started. We actually thought about doing it by part. And the problem with that is there's too many parts. If you try to lay out a whole store based on part number, there's too many freaking parts to do it. You need a minimum of 3,000 drawers or 3,000 compartments. And that's if you mix all the colors. The math didn't work out. Where this way, we only have to worry about 72 colors instead of 3,000 different parts. And now it's just a matter of, fitting all the parts into the drawers we have. There, you got to keep parts. What's our error rate? I've got to keep parts that look the same far apart. No, we don't do that. We keep all the parts where they're supposed to be. If you go into Bricklink and you go to the parts directory, that list is the exact same way our store is laid out. I'll show you. Can you pull up Bricklink's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pull up Bricklink's part list.
For me, I gotta keep light gray and light bluish gray not in the same drawer because I might accidentally pick out the same.
Oh no, I don't care about
Mix
that.
them up or something.
Color's no big deal. Let me turn the other light on.
You want your phone on?
Yeah, the phone on the screen.
Did you want me to pull up Bricklink or no?
Yeah. If you go on Bricklink, you'll start it through categories. It goes from brackets, bricks, brick modified, brick arches, brick round, additions, hinges. It's all in alphabetical order, exactly the way it is on a parts line. So as we're pulling parts, our list is exactly the same as Bricklink's. And that's just, this is black. So if we open up any one of these codes, and the journals have actually been good about actually starting to write part numbers because they're not changing. Anytime you run out of a part, it'll just be an empty space until we get more next time. So, turn this way. As you can see, the first 2 top rows there, those are all black. And we get down here to these 2 rows, those 2 right blue, those all by color, and then by category, and then by plates. Because here, these are dark blue gray, 1 by plates, 2 by plates, 3 by plates, 6 by plates, 12 by 5 by plates. We're trying to get the modifieds to be in the same order as the plates and the bricks are listed. That's kind of tough because they don't have it broken down into subcategories.
Turn your phone mic on. They can't hear a damn thing saying. They didn't hear nothing.
Oh well. But yeah, you can see everything in there was by alphabetical order, just like Bricklink is.
Hold on, let me share this. I think this is the one you're talking about. So you have it Alphabetical, like the category tree is here?
Exactly. Yeah, if you go to parts,
Yeah.
you're going to have antennas, and you're going to have brackets, and you're going to have bricks. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to turn the mic off because it just started echoing in the room because of the stupid mic for the camera. But everything over there is in alphabetical order, just like you've got here on this sheet. So,
You know what you could do? You could have an Acro Mills bin or like cabinet for each one of these.
you could, but you're going to run out of space really fast because you got to deal with unless you color sort it first, you got to put 50 colors in each one.
You know what you do? You get the big Sterilite drawers with the big 3 drawers, and there's each 3 categories would be one in each drawer. Oh man, that'd be the cheapest way possible.
Dude, look
YouTube. Hold on. Got to make you big. Oh wait, hold on. I got rid of you. There we go. Oh yeah, there you go.
This is the used stuff. Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
There. This is the used stuff, and that's exactly how it's laid out. If you look at white, it starts off with aircraft, animal, antenna, bars, boats, cockpits are all in the top drawer. Then the one below that, containers, minifigure, miscellaneous, tail. I don't know why that's there, but doors, supports, windows. You know, for the most part, all of that is in alphabetical order. Over here, you got 1 by bricks, 2 by bricks, 3 by bricks. And most of this is kind of stuff that hasn't made it into the totes yet because we just got to keep buying them, and they're pretty expensive after a while. But eventually, all that stuff in all those totes are going to make their way over into the black boxes, organized by part in order. So it's just time and money, that's all waiting for us to finish that. But I think as far as anybody doing category sorting, I think David's system is the smartest, most efficient way I've seen anybody do category sorting. Because you've got one drawer with every 1 by 2 brick or plate in one drawer. It makes sense. You can put them away very quickly. That way you're not running around hitting. I sorted 30 pounds of bricks by category, and I wound up with 68 individual colors. And it was like, oh, how are you going to put away 68 colors every time you want to sort plate? You got to go to 68 drawers for every part.
Put them all in the same drawer.
Well, yeah, that's what David's doing, and that's what I said. It makes sense. But to try to do that with the stack-ons, you're just running around chasing your tail all day.
Yeah. Fun.
Gonna ruin your color sort when package arrives. I need some new totes. Uh-oh. But yeah, I know our system's not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everybody should change over to this, but as far as efficiency and I really tried to. We sat down for weeks talking about this and trying to do the math and figuring out, okay, if we do it this way, what problems are we going to run into? If we do it this way, what problems are we going to run into? And the other thing I really disliked about the stack-ons is the limitation on space. It's great if you're buying not huge quantities of kits and sorting and parting them out. Mm-hmm. But if Nathan, if you went out and bought 100 of any kit and tried to part it out and put it away, none of your parts would fit in one of those drawers.
No, that'll be in the Sterilites.
So you're already screwing yourself on the system because you can't do volume. With us, the totes, if we run out of space, we just take another tote and put it next to it and just move them over a little bit. So I can literally take one whole tote and fill it full of 1x4 plates or 2x4 plates if I want in black. And then the next tote could be 2x6 plates. I don't care. Or I could split it in half and do half and half, or, it makes no difference. All it is just shifting over one box. And David's way of doing it makes sense. But once you've got every part crammed into one drawer, you're kind of creating a limitation because you can't go to the next drawer. There's already shit in it. Unless you take all the drawers and shift them and move them, you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sean says his are all bagged separate. But do you take like all your plates and bag them in one drawer by color or by size? Right. I know the bags are great, but they suck for picking parts. The bags are great for putting stuff away, but holy shit, picking parts out of bags is a nightmare.
Yeah, as you see behind me, my wall's filling up with all the used, except for the spaces. They're gone right now, but I'm starting to get quite a few orders. That's a lot of used now compared to before.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean,
except for the last couple giant orders I get is like 1 or 2 of all kinds of shit, and it's like over 100 lots, and I'm like, really? Part? Come on.
Yeah.
But
you can put lot limitations on the store. You don't want to. I mean, it is a pain in the ass.
I know what I've started doing for all the big orders. So I was making like custom sheets. Hold on, let me show you guys this quick trick. This would be your pro tip for the day.
Pro tip of the day.
Yeah. I will actually, the big order, I'll print out the invoice, and I found how to print it without me having to, like, make it. I can just print it a special way, and then everything on that paper goes in a bag. Everything on the next page goes in a bag. So when they go to inventory, the 400 one-piece items they bought, it's super easy for them. Let me pull up one inventory quick. Yeah, this one will work right here. This one is 402 items and 159 lots.
There you go.
That one sucked. All right.
Yep, those orders are bitch.
And then it was like $40. And I'm like, really? Like, how'd you get that many parts for $40?
And it takes you like 2 hours to pull one freaking order.
I'm like, I don't even think I could do that. So these big ones, I'll literally pull them separately because I bag them as I pull them. Because otherwise, if I pull them all when I'm picking other orders, I have to re-go through all the parts to rebag them. So I found it's much easier to do it this way. So let me share the screen. So this big honking order here, it's like it goes on forever. All kinds of crap, used crap, like a lot, right?
Yeah.
So when I'll just go to I'll click the little print button up in the corner on the regular order.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to print. And I just figured this out today. And then we want regular printer. Come on.
Multiple sheets per page.
Well, I can't double print both sides with my cheap printer I have.
Right.
But
you put two side by side, right?
Yeah, I found the setting for that today. So
yeah, that's real nice.
It's 11 pages, I think. Let me see.
That's a lot of shit, dude. Change the scale too. If you scale it down, you can get more shit on a page, but then it gets harder to read too.
Yeah, so it's 11 pages of part. But now you can do pages per sheet. You go down to like 2.
Yep.
It's smaller, but you can still read it.
Yeah.
So this is what I would do. I would go from 11 pages down to 6 pages, and then I print it like this. So you can still read it when you print it out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on this first page would go in bag that I would just label 1, and then I do bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, 5, and then bag 6 is just a couple parts.
Are you printing all your orders or just these big ones?
Only the big ones.
Okay.
Because then when people go to inventory this, it's 100 times easier for them. Now I know, like, yeah, whatever, they didn't pay that much. It's like $40. But I feel that some of these huge orders, by doing it this way and making it much easier for the buyer to inventory it, they're going to come back and probably order even bigger orders. So, like, I have one guy that orders every week. And I do it like this. And he constantly, every week, he comes back and orders $100 to $200 worth. So, but yeah, the pages per sheet, you'd put on 2 and then it doubles. Because I was actually making this by, like, copying and pasting one onto a sheet and then copying and pasting the other in Word. And then I realized I could just click it right here and it does it itself. So that's my pro tip for you guys today.
Pro tip of the day.
So, because if you sorted all these Lego and then you throw all these Lego into a bag and give it to somebody, you pretty much defeated the entire purpose of sorting all the Lego in the first place, because now they have to sort the 400 pieces again to find out what they had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who knows, but I did get Howard went to the Lego store by me, and I told him get lots of pictures of the pick-a-brick options so that I'm going to mark each item that's on the pick-a-brick wall that's in my store in the remarks. I'm going to add PAB afterwards, and then I'll set all those as retain. So if I ever run out of any, then I can be like, oh, I'll just go get a cup down there and refill it, because it's obviously cheap for buying stuff, but they only have a small selection. So they'll give me those cheap bricks or whatever that I can buy, and then I'll know that I don't always have to look up if it's there or not. It'll just be like, because they never change their inventory. It's the same crap all the time.
Oh, yeah. We used to bag our stuff up a little bit. We would use more bags than we do now before in the beginning. We just started blowing through so many Ziplocs. I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, somebody that orders 100 lots, you're giving them $10 worth of bags.
Yeah, like if that order would be 160 lots, so you're going to give 160 bags?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the way we started doing it, and it seems to work out well. And actually, we had a couple of customers that have sent us feedback. Who are like, you know what, this was a really nice way of packing. If you read through our feedbacks, a lot of people are actually kind of like saying they like the way we bagged it. But the way everybody's going around picking parts in the store is by color. So if we've got 20 black parts, I'll fill it, as we're double checking the parts, I'll pretty much take all the black parts and dump them in one bag and close it, and then move on to the next color. And, when you've got the ones that are like light blue, gray, black, white, red, blue, the big primary colors, you'll wind up getting like a bag of that color. But then you've got like lime, and you've got, some of the weird purples and pinks. You dump 3, 4, 5 colors into one bag. It's still easy to pick them out. But I'm not one of those people to like bag each lot. That's just ridiculous. Lego doesn't do it. I'm not doing it. Lego, and most of these people when they get their parts, we actually had one person specifically put a note at the bottom of the order that they wanted every single part together in one bag. Like that was the note on the order. It's like they wanted everything packed in one bag together, because evidently sorting it out is fun for them. Right. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, that's fine.
Otherwise, if I get smaller lot orders, like if it's 5 or 6 lots or even like 10 lots and it's only a couple pieces
in one bag.
Yeah. Now, if it's high quantity, low lot, then I just bag it by lot.
Right.
Otherwise, if it's what's the other one? If they order, like 5 to 15 of each part, but then a couple lots they order 20 or more. Anything 20 or more gets bagged separately because it's just like you have a lot of that then.
Right.
And then the rest I'll just kind of put together by if they're all bricks, all tiles, stuff like that.
We do the same thing. Like we get a lot of black plates that sell all together, and 1x2s, 2x2s. We'll just take all the black plates, dump them in one bag. Something like that. So yeah, we pretty much do the same thing. But I'm definitely not one of those. Like if somebody actually asked us to bag, I mean, if they put in an order for 1,000 parts and 180 lots, I'd be like, I really don't want to use up 200 bags to pack your order. This is crazy.
Like I had that one that was like, I don't know if it's 30 lots or something. They were like, I want each lot in a separate bag. And I was like, well, I did put in my terms, like if you have a special bag request.
Yeah.
I was like, technically they're doing exactly as I asked. So I was like, maybe I should add in with a limit of 20 bags.
Yeah. We just kind of do it like I kind of pack stuff like the way I would want to get it. It's not.
Yeah.
We're not making a mess, but at the same time, I'm not going to put every little part in one bag. I mean, that's crazy. I got a couple of orders from other sellers, don't get me wrong, that people took the time to pack every lot in its own little baggie, and there were like 30 bags. And I'm like, well, that's really nice to get and be able to open it up and count every part. But I'm like, God, why'd you waste so many bags sending me like 100 parts? This is crazy. I would never ask somebody to do that for me. I think that's
why they order 10,000 a time off eBay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Lexington Brick says, anyone reseal in Lego bags?
Yeah, I've gotten orders in that way.
Yeah, I was doing that for a while, but then I was parting out so many sets that I had such a backlog of Lego bags that it was taking up so much room. I ended up just throwing them because I was like, I hate going through this box of bags to look for the right size bag. Like sometimes if I get bored, I'll just like put someone's in there and make it look like it just came from Lego.
Yeah, Lego's about to switch over their poly bags. They're about to dump the poly bags completely.
What are they going to put them in, boxes?
Paper. They're switching everything over to some type of biodegradable shit. All of it. If you look at, somebody just did a review on that little green, what do you call it? Lego just came out with a kit a couple days ago that's only available at the Lego house in Denmark. Mm-hmm. And the machine, it's a little green machine, which is the injection mold machine that they use for making Lego. Mm-hmm. So they made a model of the machine that makes the Legos, and that's the kit. In that kit, the finished little bags that it's supposed to be spitting out are those 5 red 2x4 bricks that you get when you go to Lego house. You get like a little package of 2x4 bricks for free. If you take the tour or something. Well, in the new kit of the machine, it's a 2x2 tile printed with the little bag of bricks, but it's not white or clear anymore. It's actually brown because they've built the machine and the kit to what they're about to change over to. So I think they're going to use some kind of biodegradable crap, some plant-based shit or whatever for the poly bags, and they're going to get rid of. I mean, supposedly by the end of 2025 or 2030, something like that, all the bricks themselves are going to change again. They're going to some plant-based crap
for the be biodegradable. So after 5 years, they just
there you go. You're gonna have to get new bricks every couple of years because they're just gonna disintegrate.
Oh, my bucket of bricks turned into a bucket of dirt.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. Well, like even if they change the poly bags to a paper type, I would assume it would be something like the chip bags are now, because the chips come in like a biodegradable bag, but it's still like a plastic type of bag. Because if it was just paper, like people would just be like, "Oh, got those minifigs."
Yep. No, it's probably. I would say it's going to be some kind of plant-based material that's probably going to break down over a very short period of time once exposed to like UV light or something stupid.
Yeah, Brickbin says he has an impulse sealer also. He got the roll of tube plastic. I almost bought a roll, and then I was like, that's going to take me quite a long time to bag a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I've gotten some orders packed in those little tube sleeves where they hot melt them every so often. That's kind of cool, but seems like a lot of investment, and you got to deal with the damn heat thing constantly. I'd rather
I like the Ziploc bags. The only thing I use my impulse sealer for now is whenever I ship overseas, I put my paper bubble mailers inside of a poly mailer, and then I heat seal it so it's waterproof. So when it goes on the boat, it doesn't get wrecked.
fair idea, I guess.
Because I have a bunch of the poly mailer things laying around, so I was like, hey, this is a good way to use them. So plus that way, if they really want to open it at customs and see what's in there, they're going to pretty much destroy the package because I put a whole bunch of tape on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, Leaf Hunter's got to go. We're over 2 hours, so I think that's about it. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hope you had a wonderful evening, and thanks for Steve joining us. I hope you all come back on next Sunday. And I'll put out my video about building the new part-out table.
Yeah, let me know. You come back on and let us know what happened with your credit cards. They get paid off?
Oh, yeah. I'll let you know. All right. Everybody have a good night. See ya.
See you next week.